With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
Hello everyone, let's start the question. Our question says that the figure represents total period of one cardiac cycle, that is zero point 0.8 second, and ABC represent its stages. Identify ABC and select the correct statement regarding them. First option is during A, tricuspid and bicuspid valve open and blood flows from atria into the ventricles. Second is during B, bicuspid and tricuspid valves closed producing first heart sound. Third is during C, the semilunar valves close producing second heart sound. And fourth is during B, the atria contract due to a wave of contraction by SA node. So here, if you are talking about our question, this is the question of the cardiac cycle. So in our cardiac cycle, if we are total about talking about our cardiac cycle, that means it will represent zero point 0.8 second of our heart. And if we are talking about our question, so here A will be the joint diastole. Here A represent the joint diastole, and this joint diastole will comprises total zero point 0.4 second of the cardiac cycle. It will takes place the during the zero point 0.4 second. So here our first one will be the joint diastole. And if you are talking about our joint diastole, so in joint diastole our atrium as well as our ventricle both will present in the relaxing state, means in during the joint diastole atria as well as ventricle, they will not contract, they will present in the relaxing state. So they will present in the relaxing state. And if you are talking about our B1, so here our B1 will be denote the atrial diastole. Here our B will represent the, sorry, here our B will represent the atrial systole. Atrial systole, that means it will be the contraction of the atrium. Systole means contraction, and here atrial systole means this will be the contraction of the atrium. During the contraction of the atrium, during this phase, basically only our atrium will be the contract. During this phase there will be the contraction of the atrium, and this contraction is due to the SA node. No, SA node, which is also known as the pacemaker of the heart, it will give commands to the atrium for the contraction. So here our B will represent the atrial systole. And if you are talking about our C1, so here C will represent the ventricular systole. Ventricular systole, this ventricular systole will comprises the time period of total zero point 0.3 second. And here it will be our ventricular systole. Ventricular systole means this will be the contraction of the ventricle. That means during this phase our atrium will be present in the relaxing state. Only during this state ventricle will show the process of the contraction, they will undergo the contraction. And during this phase, basically at this phase our valves will be closed. During this phase our valve, like our bicuspid and tricuspid valve, these will be the closed one. Bicuspid and tricuspid, these are the valves which are present between the atrium and the ventricle. So during this phase our bicuspid and tricuspid valve will be closed for preventing the backflow of the blood from ventricle to the atrium. So here our first sound will be produced, that is the lump sound. And after the ventricular systole our second sound will be produced, that will be the dub sound, by the closing of the semilunar valve which is present in our atrium. So here if you are talking about our question, our first option is during A, tricuspid and bicuspid valve open and blood flows from atria into the ventricle. So here our A will represent the joint diastole. That means it will be the incorrect option. Here our blood will be no one will be present in the atrium and ventricle. And if we are talking about our second option, that is the during B, that is we are talking about the atrial systole. During B, bicuspid and tricuspid valve close producing the first heart sound. So during B our bicuspid and tricuspid valve will be open, because at this time atrium is contracted, and at this time blood will flow from atrium to the ventricle. Then, if we are talking about our third option, that is during C, that means we are talking about the ventricular systole. The semilunar valve closed, producing the second heart sound. So, our semilunar valve will be closed after the ventricular systole. And if you are talking about our option D, that is our fourth option, that is during B, the atria contract due to the wave of contraction by the SA node. So here our B is atrial systole, and this atrium will be contracted by the impulses which are given by the SA node. So here our fourth option will be correct. I hope this answered your question. Thank you.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level. Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.